Backlash was amazing. Let's talk about it. The show kicked off with Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. This match was amazing. The Vision tried to come out and interfere. It did not really end up working. It looked like it was going to. Braun Breaker hit a spear after they distracted him, and it looked like that was it. But Seth Rollins managed to kick out, being like one of two people, I think, to kick out of Braun Breaker's spear. Braun Breaker ended up picking up the win, though. I don't know if I would consider it a clean win because the Vision interfered, but they didn't really cost Seth the match. I don't know, but I did predict Braun Breaker to win, and this was 100% the right choice. I think Braun now has a lot of momentum, like even more than he already did before. And now Seth Rollins has his case for a rematch, and I cannot wait for this feud to continue. This was a really good match. I believe there was like a mid-air spear, which was really cool. A really great match. You can tell these two have good chemistry. The hot take for this match was, quote, "This is total BS. Reducing the stock of Seth Rollins for a dog and to Gunther back-to-back is unacceptable." I just cannot agree with this. I mean, he lost to Gunther, yeah, but Gunther retired John Cena and AJ Styles, so it's not like he's losing to, you know, a jobber. He didn't lose clean. He lost because of Braun Breaker. And calling Braun Breaker just a dog, he is literally the entire future of the company. Yeah, and it's not like Seth Rollins' reputation is ruined now and he's, you know, not even a main eventer anymore. He's Seth Rollins. He's going to be just fine, and I'm sure he's going to win the next match. It's really a shame that this match couldn't have been at WrestleMania because it absolutely cooked, but I'm so glad we got it, and it got a fair amount of time. The next match we have to talk about is Asuka versus Iyo Sky. I think everybody expected this match to be incredible, and I could not be happier to tell you it delivered. This was one of the greatest women's matches I have ever seen. One of the greatest wrestling matches in general I have ever seen. This was an absolutely stunning match. They had amazing chemistry, lots of cool counters. We had this really awesome spot where Iyo grabbed Wade Barrett's notes and blocked the mist with them. I loved that spot. It was so creative, and it made it feel more like a real fight, just like using your environment to your advantage. I really was a fan of this spot in this match, just overall in general. Iyo Sky ended up picking up the win, which I predicted. I said Asuka, I think, should win, but I think Iyo will win, and that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, we did not get the return of Kairi Sane in this match, which I think pretty much everybody was hoping for. So it's not a work, brother. It's not part of the show. The show. However, a concerning thing happened after this match, that being Asuka breaking down into tears and hugging Iyo Sky and waving at the fans as she walked out. So is Asuka retiring is the big question, and multiple superstars like Rhea Ripley, like Charlotte Flair, and Bayley posted tributes to to Asuka on Twitter, or not just on Twitter, but whatever. So it's looking like she might be retiring, which I did not see coming, and I cannot handle all these retirements, dude. We had Goldberg, which, you know, whatever, he's like 60, but then John Cena, AJ Styles, and now Asuka. Nobody really knows at this point whether or not she is actually retiring. The belief is that she's semi-retired. What does that even mean? But if this is where Asuka hangs up the boots, she had an amazing career, and congratulations to her. She is one of the best female wrestlers to ever do it in the history of women's wrestling. And I think going out with a match against I assume one of her best friends is a really good way to go out for Asuka. It could be just her breaking down after an amazing match with Iyo Sky, but I think she's probably retiring. The next match we have to talk about is Danhausen and a Minihausen versus The Miz and Kit Wilson, which I predicted Danhausen and his partner to win, which I ended up getting completely correct, but that was pretty easy to predict. What I did not predict correctly, though, was his mystery partner. I predicted it was going to be Jelly Roll, and it was not Jelly Roll. It was a Minihausen, but I am very, very pleased with the decision. The person playing Mini Danhausen, or the Minihausen, was El Torito, and I mean, he was going off. Like, I did not know little people could wrestle this good. He was hitting springboards, he was hitting suicide dives, he was hitting hurricane ranas. I mean, he was doing everything that like a regular luchador could do. I was very impressed with the talent from the Minihausen, and it was like genuinely a really entertaining match, and like an actually really good wrestling match too. We had a funny spot where Kit Wilson pushed the Minihausen back into the cloning machine, shut it, and then like 10 of them came running back out, which I thought was an awesome touch. I just absolutely loved everything about this, and Danhausen is just awesome, man. Everything Danhausen does, Danhausen can do no wrong. Inject Danhausen into my veins on a weekly or daily basis. The hot take for this one was, I really didn't see the point of this match. It was just useless to me. Not every wrestling match, I don't think, needs to be a big storyline, not have like a real point. I don't know how to phrase it really. I don't think that was the right way to like. It was blowing off this feud, but I think the main point of the match is just to have fun and for it to be funny. And I think putting matches like this on big stages every once in a while, not like every premium live event or PLE or pay-per-view, whatever, I think they are really fun when they are on these big stages, and they are so fun to watch. But let me know what you thought of this match. I really liked it. Next, we had a United States Championship match between Trick Williams and Sami Zayn. Another really good match. I still don't like Lil Yachty getting involved in any match or any other celebrity getting involved in matches. Luckily, though, they are still staying away from like Lil Yachty being the reason that Trick wins, which is good, because he shouldn't need a rapper to win a match, especially as a champion. So I'm glad that they didn't have him win because of Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty. And I think Sami Zayn's a full-on heel now. I mean, he was playing a heel type character throughout the entire match. By the way, he listened to Karrion Kross. Say it, Sammy! Kross was right. He didn't hesitate. He still lost, but he didn't hesitate. He used the kendo stick, the candy cane kendo stick, behind the ref's back, and was taking out Lil Yachty. At the beginning of the match, he rolled out of the ring, which is like a very heelish thing to do. So I think we have full-on heel Sami Zayn now, which was much needed. And I did predict this right. I did predict that Trick Williams would get the win, and this was definitely the right choice. I mean, having him lose here just wouldn't have made any sense. It wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. Next, we had John Cena's big announcement that was going to shift the landscape of WWE forever. And I, along with many others, I don't think we were expecting anything actually ground shifting, because WWE likes to hype up the most stupid, lame things. But I have never been happier to be so wrong. He announced the John Cena Classic event every single year, where main roster and NXT stars compete. and the fans get to choose who wins the championship of the John Cena Classic. So even if you lose your match, you can still win the John Cena Classic Championship. And it's meant to, like, I assume, help make new stars. And I really, really love the sound of this. This is actually landscape shifting, changing, whatever. I can't wait to see this event. They didn't tell us when it is, but I am so excited for this. And then next we have the main event match between Jacob Fatu challenging Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. The champion Roman picked up the win. However, I would like to add, it was not a clean win by any means. He ripped off the turnbuckle while in the Tongan death grip, I believe, and pushed Jacob into it, and allowing him to break the hold and get an opening, hit a spear, and win. Lots of really cool counters in this match. Jacob Fatu kicked out of the Superman punch at 1, which I think was really awesome. There was this moment where Jacob hit the pop-up Samoan drop and the mighty moonsault, and I thought it genuinely might have been over, but Roman Reigns kicks out at 2.9999999, and it was an absolutely incredible kick out. Roman Reigns is so good at doing that. And I did predict that Roman would win, so I'm glad that I got that right. I got every single match prediction right when it comes to winners and losers. This was another really awesome match, and there was no interference from the Usos or MFT or Zilla Fatu or anybody else, which I am very happy about. This match was just straight up amazing. The hot take for this match was Roman beats Jacob Fatu. Shocking, the werewolf got his first main event shot and ate a spear instead of a win. Same old tribal chief formula, part-time champ, full-time ego. Fatu will be back in the mid-card by SummerSlam. First of all, if Jacob Fatu is back in the mid-card by SummerSlam, which I don't think he will be, but if he is, that's not Roman Reigns' fault. And he wasn't originally going to be a part-time champion. He was going to be here for 2 months straight every single week. The only reason he wasn't was likely because of something to do with TKO. It definitely wasn't a clerical error. I've already went into that, so I'm not going to go into it again now. And I don't know what this person means when they say full-time ego. He lost to Bronson Reed. He lost at WrestleMania last year. And Jacob stood tall over him multiple times in the build-up to this match. I think by no means this destroyed Jacob Fatu's momentum. Matter of fact, I think this probably has elevated him from where he was before the feud with Roman Reigns. Standing tall over Roman Reigns like 2 weeks in a row, even after this match, he stood tall over Roman. Doing that is not easy. And he didn't even lose clean. He lost because Roman took off the turnbuckle. So I don't think by any means this is like burying Jacob Fatu or anything. And it also opens up the possibility of this feud continuing, which I would like. We know that Roman's going to be at Clash in Italy, so could we see a rematch there? Who knows? I think Roman Reigns winning was ultimately the right decision, just having him lose a month out. Literally like 25 days after winning the title, having him lose when just a couple years ago he had a 1,316-day reign. Would just have made no sense. Overall, I think Backlash was absolutely amazing. I would probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10. The reason it's not higher is mainly just because of Kairi Sane's not returning and just kind of making the Asuka vs. Iyo match kind of pointless. I'll even bump it up to a 9 just because of how much I love this PLE, and before this I predicted it would be a top 3 PLE of the year, and I think after watching it, it has a very strong chance. And I would also like to point out, this show had more actual wrestling minutes Then WrestleMania. WrestleMania had an hour 23 minutes of real wrestling. This had an hour 24. And this show was like an hour and a half shorter with 5 matches when WrestleMania had 7. That is just so ridiculous. I am so glad that they're not repeating that same formula, though, that they did at WrestleMania of just an ungodly amount of ads. I love this show. Let me know what you thought of it. Give it a ranking out of 10. Mine is a 9. JJ, 9 McCarthy. But thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, and